In this video, we're going to replace the window regulator in the rear door of this Chevy Silverado. Let's get into it. At the base of the handle, you're going to take a pick and just go, there's a little, almost like a nail head that you got to pry down. When you pry it down, just grab the handle and it slides right out. You can see it right there. You're just trying to pry it down just like that. We're going to take this trim piece off. Use a trim tool. Just get behind here and just pop it off. There is some push pins holding that in. Now we're going to remove this panel. Just use a trim tool as well. This just pops off, just pulls out, and there's clips holding that in. We're going to remove this cover. I'm just going to use a pick. Just get behind here, just pop it out. There's a clip in there. It's just clipped in on the top and the bottom. Pop this cover off. You can use a pick or even a trim tool. Just get under here, just pop it up and slide it out. It's just clipped in. Now we're going to remove that screw. Use a 10mm socket. And then there's two more over here. Take those out. Pop this cover off. Just use a trim tool. Get underneath. It comes straight up. It's just clipped in. And then we can disconnect the connector. Push down on the tab and slide it off. Now we're going to pop the door panel off. Just use a trim tool. Get behind here. And there's just push pins. Just pop those out. Just grab the door panel when it's loose like that, and then you just want to slide up. With the door panel supported, we have this cable that we need to remove. You can pull back on the vapor barrier right here, and we need to remove it from the handle side, not the latch side, not the handle side. Right here, we're just going to take some needle nose pliers and just pinch this. Just like that. This will slide up. We can hold this up with the needle nose pliers right there. And then this ball is going to slide down, but this little lever's in the way. So we'll hold that up just like that. And then you just push this out of the way, and then that opens up that. And then you can slide the ball right out. To make this a little easier than using the needle nose pliers to hold the different brackets, you can pull on the handle and that pulls that up. And then there's another little push handle on there that you can push down on the little tab, and then that moves that other bar. So you pull this handle and then push down on that tab, just like that. Now take the vapor barrier down, slide the wiring harness out, and just lightly peel it away. If you need to, you can use a razor blade and just slice it. And slide that off. I'm going to put the window up. I already have the key on. I'm just going to connect the window switch again and roll the window all the way up. Then I can turn the key off and disconnect the switch. Now we're going to tape up the window. Make sure the window is clean. If it's dirty, you want to wash it with some window cleaner. And I'll just use some masking tape. Just go over the window. And I'll tape it up 3 times, should be good. If you want, you can always do more. And the taping the window is going to prevent the window from falling down when we take out the window regulator. That should be good. We're going to loosen up these two screws. Use a 10mm socket. These are the clamps that attach the regulator to the glass. And you don't have to take the bolt out completely, just loosen it. Do that on both sides. Just make sure the clamps are not attached anymore. That looks good. Now, if the regulator is working, what you can do is lower those clamps down. Just turn the key on again and lower the switch. And you see the window stays. The clamp goes down. Then again, I'll disconnect this and shut the key off. If the regulator isn't working, then you don't necessarily have to do that step. It's just going to be a little more difficult taking the regulator down. Now we'll disconnect the connector for the motor. Just push down on the tab. You may need a pocket screwdriver or a pick. Just get in there, push on the tab, and then try to slide the connector out. Just like that. Now we're going to take the two nuts off down here, the bolt right here, and the bolt right there. Use a 10mm socket. In this top one, you don't necessarily have to take the bolt completely out. You can just lift the regulator and slide it back. And angle the regulator and slide it out. To install the regulator, you want these clips further down. So what we're going to do is very carefully hook up the connector for the motor, turn the key on, and keeping your hands away from moving parts, you probably want to just hold the motor right here and slowly lower this down. Just to about there is fine. Then you can disconnect the connector, disconnect the switch, and turn the key off. Now slide this in position. You can line the studs up down below. Just like that. Now we're going to take the bolt out of the top of the old regulator. Put that in right here. Just make sure you're in between the window and the frame of the door so you don't crack the glass. Put the other bolt in over here. Get the two lower nuts on. And tighten these down. Just snug. That's good. Now we're going to tighten down these clamps. Just take that 10mm socket. Get those so they're just snug, and then we'll torque them. Now we want to torque those to 80 inch-pounds. That's good. We can go around and torque these other bolts to 80 inch-pounds as well. With this wire the way it is, I don't want it to get in the way of the cable or the regulator, so I'm just going to wire tie it out of the way. Just like that is fine. And then use some cutters and just trim the excess. That's good. Now you can remove the tape from the window. Now we're going to put the vapor barrier on. Just line it up and slide the wiring harness through and line these holes up. And if you need to, you can get some new butyl tape. That lines up there if it's not sticking properly. Looks good. Just like that. Now on this side, pull this back a little bit. I am gonna push because we have to hook up the cable. On the side, I'm gonna push down on the button and then pull up on the lever. That way I can access this area right there where that ball is gonna go. Slide that ball through. That's in position. Then you can let go of the lever. And slide that in place. And then slide the top part of the panel into that weather strip right there. Just like that. Make sure everything's lined up. Make sure the wiring harness comes through here. And pop those door pins in. That's good. Now we'll put the screws in. Get those all started first. And then snug those down. Now put these covers on, line it up, pop it in, line this one up, pop it in. Now we're going to connect the switch and just take the bezel and just push it down, lock it in place. Take the handle, line it up, just lock it in place. It's good. Take this trim piece and line it up, push it down. And this trim piece lines right up and locks in place.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.